I removed the injector, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to clean the tips. This is the perfect diameter for my injectors to go in, and I'll show you what I've done here. So we'll start with number one. So I've placed some caps here just to protect from any, I don't want any dust getting in here. So this is what I've done. I'm just going to select number one for ultrasonic cleaning. I'm going to run it for at least half an hour and then see what happens. I've run this machine 5 times, so this is now 50 minutes. So let's see what's happening now with these injectors. The tips definitely look a bit cleaner, I have to say, but the most important part will be the very tip at the front there, where the holes should hopefully be much cleaner. So let's clean them up a wee bit more and continue with the installation in the engine. We're going to continue with the installation of the injectors, and the most important thing when you're installing the injectors back in place is to place brand new copper washers. These are BMW genuine parts. I tried to get them from Febi, but they didn't have them. So now one more tip before you install these injectors in their ports: make sure you put some high temperature grease on them. It's going to prevent them from rusting. Otherwise, you saw when they're installed dry what happens to them after so many years. So they were completely covered in rust. This is the type of grease I'm going to be using. This is special super high temperature ceramic grease, and it holds up to 1400 Celsius. So this is the highest grade I am aware of. And this is made by Febi. 26712 is the part number, and when I mean a little bit, this is going to be enough to do 2 injectors. So just don't overdo it, because it's all then gonna smear on top of the gaskets here for the injector. So you just literally want to just give them a little bit and then just spread it really well as best as you can. Okay, I'm going to do this off camera and then we're going to continue with the installation. I'm going to be using brand new BMW injector bolts, and you can get the part numbers from real OEM. So these are stretch bolts, so you don't want to take any chances and reuse the old ones. Some people do. I am not one of these people that I'm going to risk to break bolts for 15-20 pounds and then have to extract them from the block. So I'm certainly not going to take these chances. And plus the old ones had a little bit of corrosion, so I'm always going to use them for something else. So these are the new ones. Let me put them aside. And this is the greased up injector. You can see basically what it looks like now. As I said, super light coat of grease. And now before I install them, I'm just going to wipe the tips. And I'm going to just give them a light wipe, just like that. I don't want to have too much grease on them. And just go ahead and place them in the slot. So don't forget your copper washer. It should be in place. Okay, and same with the rest of them. And at this point is absolutely critical to place the injectors in the correct order. I've numbered them 1, 2, and then I'm going to go obviously to number 6. They have these values on them which you have to code in the ECU if you're changing them, swapping them, or installing new ones. So make sure the way you take them out is the exact same order you put them back in. Always make sure that you've got your copper washer. Sometimes they can fall off, so just be very careful. Now you can proceed with the installation of the clamps. Now it's time for the rail, and there's literally no way you can get this wrong because it has these cuts, these slots here, so you can't really make a mistake. You may actually have to start with the top. So insert it in, make sure this rubber grommet sits nice in place. Don't be tempted to use any tools, just do it by hand at this point. So you want to start with the top of the pump with this hose or this pipe, high pressure pipe. So they're hand tight, and now you can install, loosen it from the bottom, hook it up on the top first. Hopefully you can see me doing this clearly with this camera angle. Insert the rubber insulation in place and then pop the bottom in. Okay, this is the torque specs. So for the injector to the cylinder head bolt, we've got two-stage torque procedure, and the first stage is going to be 8 Newton meters, the second is going to be 26 Newton meters. So if you want to find out how to get this manual, I'm going to put a link in the description, the link for this specific manual. I have a PDF manual on my phone which I can just easily print from my printer, which I don't have to dirty my phone when I'm working with dirty hands. Also I've got Ista Plus installed on my computer, and I've got online Ista as well. So I'm gonna leave a link for this exact manual for the N57 engine. I'm also gonna leave a link in the description for the website where I'm getting my user manuals. This website has millions of manuals for all type of vehicles, bikes, cars, trucks, boats, farming machinery, you name it, they have everything. So I'm also gonna put a discount code which is KM22. So if you use that code at checkout, it's going to give you 22% discount. Now let's proceed with this installation of these bolts to tighten them to the correct spec that I mentioned, and then we're going to proceed with the pipes and then tighten them as well. I've got several torque wrenches, so I'm going to use my small one for the 8 Newton meters. I've set it up to 8, and I'm going to use my 1/2 inch Norbar torque wrench at 26 Newton meters. So let's go ahead on the other side, and you can actually move this pipe if it's in your way. It's not going to be in my way in this case, but I'll just move it anyway. And this is 8 Newton meters. So we're done with stage 1, and now we're going to do stage 2 at 26. That's 26. Don't forget to loosen up your torque wrenches when you're finished, because you don't want to stretch your springs. Before I install the high pressure pipes from the rail to the injectors, I'm going to use the moment to utilize the space I have here. I'm going to tighten these bolts to 10 Newton meters. Okay, so just before we continue with the installation of these high pressure pipes, you want to remove these screws from here, and I'm going to place the wiring in place. I'm gonna torque these to 24 Newton meters, each one of these, and also the ones that are connected to the high pressure pump, so they all take 24 Newton meters. I'm gonna start tightening all the fuel pressure pipes. So I'm gonna start from the bottom one, then I'm gonna do this one here on the top, and then all the other nuts on the top of the injectors and the rail. I'm just gonna show you what tool I manufactured. So just cut an old ring spanner. I welded an old socket on it. And this is basically what I'm gonna be using with my torque wrench instead of buying a torque spanner. So let me install this on the pipe, and we're going to apply 24 Newton meters, as I said. So this is how easy it is to install and remove injectors. Hopefully you enjoy the procedure. Hopefully I've shown you as clearly as possible. I've got the torque specs for you as well. And yeah, I mean, it's not rocket science. As long as you're careful, you're not rushing, you shouldn't cause any damage, and everything should go back in place if you're keeping things in order, bolts and nuts, and you're not disorganized. So it's a fairly big job to do the timing chains on this engine, and yeah, of course you need a lot of space, you need the tools as well and the time, but it's not rocket science, and it's doable. It's made by people for people, so if any mechanic can do it, you should be able to do it as well. I always try to encourage people to try and get involved and look after their own car, because nobody will look after your car better than you would yourself. So yeah, hopefully I've covered plenty in this video on how to remove and how to install everything back in place. If you do like the content, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I'll see you guys in the next one.